in it.
Does he have to hit play or something?
We're good. We got it.
There we go.
There's a delay.
There we go.
Hey,
Who's sponsoring us tonight?
there's stuff
Society
happening.
6. It's not
There's
what
stuff
you think.
happening.
They sell awesome posters.
I think you're good, dude.
We got it.
All types of posters.
All types of posters.
Okay.
I think I got some of these. I might have got the Dave Grohl and maybe the Calvin and Hobbes from Society 6.
Gotta check them out.
Gotta check them out. Speaking of checking out, you look a little bit different than our normal friend here on Tuesdays.
Well, you know what? Kevin's a very attractive, slim man. So.
Oh yeah, there's a little more space.
I got big shoes to fill, but we miss you, Kevin. And I will
That's your
try my
first
best.
wrong opinion on the show.
Oh
by the
yeah,
way.
it's just reeling them off tonight. On behalf of First Amendment
Gotta be
Sports,
respectful.
I'd like to welcome you to Thank God It's Tuesday, the official Commanders podcast of Hogs Haven, and the Anchor Weekly Tuesday podcast, the Anchor Tuesday podcast of First Amendment Sports. I'm Ken Marangolo. Sitting all the way down there is Tim.
What's up? What's up, boys, girls? Rhett, it's great to have you next.
Rhett
to us.
Donnelly.
Thank you.
Better than
And,
you
know,
all passed out over there on the couch.
Yeah. Just one thing. Brig Owens, I don't know if you saw, he had a celebration of life today. Just Redskins Ring of Fame, second leading in interceptions in our team history. Celebration of life. He was a great, obviously, player
Just
on the
a
field, but
local Ring of Fame.
also just an incredible man off the field, helped with a lot of inner city, giving back to the community. So Brig Owens, celebration of life today. Great man.
I need to also remember in that same token, Kevin and Darren McClinton, who have been in the basement many a week. Their dad, Harold, obviously played. Tank played with Brig, and Brig was huge for them, growing up after Tank passed. So I always would love to hear them tell stories, about being kids and having the mentorship of a Brig Owens. So definitely heart's going out to you, Juice, and Darren tonight, and and that's a good way to start. That's a good remembrance. That's kind of, if we can't remember guys like that, then what the hell are we even doing this for?
Right.
No, he did a lot for the community, so it's always a sad thing when you see someone like that pass. But celebration of life today, so celebrating the great things that he did.
What's going on here? It's like bubbling up and over. Is it frozen? A little frozen? You just got to drink some of that?
Yeah, just knock it down.
All right.
That's a professional right there. You
Act
just
like we've
knock
been
it
there.
down.
I mean, come on. I mean, you have two open. And I do respect that, but it is training camp eve, and I think it a successful, positive training camp eve. Now we got to take our wins whenever we can get them.
Are you jacked? Are you juiced right now? You're like,
well,
got those butterflies going? Are you ready for this?
Think about the key boxes you want checked going into a training camp. And many years when we sucked out loud and when we had no reason for really legitimate optimism, we still checked a few boxes that made the preseason fun. But, like, for example, no contractual holdouts.
No.
That's a
Check.
huge box.
Check.
No glaring, obvious, and distracting contract situation.
That was all wrong until you said contract situation.
Yes. No contract situation. We don't have it.
Check.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Okay, and so young, like legitimate young talent, which hasn't been necessarily always the case. And I think the other thing is, without going into the coaching thing, because I do think you start to get somewhat subjective. I am a Rivera guy going into year 3, but not everyone is. I think
Some people aren't whoever, insert name. That's just the way fans are.
Yeah, that's exactly true. That's
But
right.
I'm okay with Ron.
And speed. Youth, speed, no contract distractions, no holdouts. Those are four of like super easy boxes. And it is, of all those things, like we've dealt with holdouts, we've dealt with contract situations, we've been old. But not being fast, like that's a huge problem, and we've not been fast, and it wasn't that long ago when we weren't fast. So being fast, I think that's a huge deal, and knowing that you actually have legitimate speed. So I know we're setting the bar somewhat low by checking like the main boxes, but is there anything I'm missing? Anything else going into camp? Forget about like how good you think Carson Wentz is going to be or that kind of stuff. Like what makes you happy just going into camp?
Skill players.
What makes me happy?
Yeah, what makes you feel like, I mean, we've just done this wrong so many times, so I don't want to put the cart ahead of the horse.
Well, no, I think you hit the nail on the head on a few of those. Where we don't have, we got a full roster. We have, relatively good health. Some of our key players, I don't know, will be 100% if not available at on week 1. But, getting healthy. We got a couple of holes still that need to be filled. I think the only thing that makes me unhappy is that we still haven't really addressed the middle of the defense completely.
Right.
So that's a big concern going in. But I mean, I don't see any more concerns other than can this team perform as well as they look on paper? That's the big question mark.
I like the middle of the defense answer. So like I agree, like all of us agree that the middle of our defense, that being linebacker, is an odd looking group.
That has not been addressed.
Not deep. So their answer though is they've got these unsigned free agent or undrafted free agents, like 3 of them I believe, and their argument is we know we're only going to keep maybe one of these guys, maybe, and so. They're like, there's no point in us signing a veteran yet because we want to give these guys like every single possible rep that we have to give in, March and April and May and June, and I already know what a veteran's going to do. So they
need to give Jamin a lot.
Well, but like forget about Jamin and Cole. It's these the kid from Notre Dame, I think, the kid from there's like a Lafayette or undrafted free agents. Mm-hmm. They all might not make it, but they think they can maybe keep one of these guys. So their reasoning is kind of like, oh yeah, we're going to sign somebody.
That's also a Ron philosophy, right? Bring in guys, one-year contracts, let them prove themselves, let them play for their livelihoods.
Yep.
You get the most out of a player, and it makes your team better. When you got guys like that at the bottom of the rung. But they need to seriously start thinking about how to add a veteran somewhere. Well, I think that's lacking.
So I guess my thought is that's happening. Like it's 100%. Of course, we're going to do it. But you don't need to see what that guy can do. If you're bringing a veteran in, you're bringing him in to do what he can do. And also, if there's a linebacker out there who doesn't want to play for Ron Rivera, like I'd like to meet him, and he's probably like every 90-degree August day that I'm not signed is one 90-degree August day. I don't have to deal with training camp. So I think it works out I think it works out as long as that's in fact what they're doing.
It's just a little strange that linebacker with Ron Rivera as the head coach is the one position that we feel like we are in need of more help.
You gotta have 3. We used a first-round draft pick on one last year, and they're still bringing him along. Cole Holcomb is going to be asked to do way more than he's ever done, and because of we think he's capable of it, but until he shows that he's capable of it, it makes a huge question mark at the linebacker spot. But the interesting part about the way we play our defense, which feeds into the other part of the defense that you ask questions about it, which is the secondary. So you play 11 guys in your base package. You're going to play the 3 linebackers. But we only played base 16% of the time last year. So the rest of the time, our 11th defender wasn't a linebacker. It was a safety, more often than not a safety, but also or a cornerback. Landon Collins, kind of turned into that guy. So the competition for that spot among guys like potentially, St. Just, Percy Butler, to name two of the guys that they're looking at, coming in and playing more as an 11th defender than an extra linebacker, you still need linebackers. You still can't just have 2. But it's better. It's a better setup based on our scheme than I think people are thinking.
No, that makes sense to me. I mean, Landon Collins, he's still unsigned, right? I don't think he's called on to a team right now.
I believe the answer to that is he's looking at this point in his career to not play in August.
Looking for. Oh, okay, all right. But yeah, I mean, we definitely had some packages that allowed us to, bring up players from the secondary that would play those traditional linebacker roles, and maybe that's what we're going to do moving forward. I just thought this position would be a little more solidified at this point. But if you're confident we're bringing in a veteran,
I'm confident we're bringing in a veteran, and I'm confident that our 11th defender on 90% of our plays is going to be a defensive back. But to just answer your question about Landon Collins, if I'm Landon Collins, he certainly could probably already be signed to a team if he agreed to play that star linebacker role or the 11th guy role. I'm not sure that he ever gravitated toward. I mean, he said it time and time again that he looks in the mirror and he sees a safety. Like, no one knows better than us that shitty safeties get rolled out of the field on a regular basis. For 20 years, we had a huge hole at safety, and you look around the league, there's like Landon Collins wouldn't be a great safety, but there's plenty of not great safeties.
He's still unsigned.
Yeah, I know, but
you're just saying he's gonna just
someone's gonna have a safety spot, and
that may be our linebacker, by the way.
He has to want to play that spot.
I understand, but when no one wants to sign you,
how many choices
you still
do you
want
have?
to play football, you might want to go with the team that's stuck with you. I don't know. It's just crazy.
So you think
for me to think that
way?
If
he's unsigned, you think that's because no one wants him as a safety? And if someone gets hurt and somewhere along the way, is he getting that call, or teams they're like, why would I hire this guy? I'll just play my young guy and see what he's got.
Yeah, because the other team, all they have to know is to throw it over top of them, and a touchdown.
I want to play him then. If that's true, I would love to play him. To be honest with you,
we've seen it over and over and over again.
If Landon Collins would play that position, that would pretty much end our whole conversation about it, because he essentially would be, close to the line of scrimmage.
Be better than what we have right now.
Yeah. That would be his job. And he would have a job, and we'd have a person playing that spot. And then you would still bring in another defensive, but you still have room for another defensive back. Whether it be
but he made a
St.
lot of
Jude's.
great plays, but they were at the line of scrimmage. That's where he needs to be.
All right. Well, we'll call that problem solved, I guess. Essentially.
Check.
Let's talk a little bit about Ron Rivera going into his third training camp. Again, date number 3. Everyone knows what happens on date number 3. This is a big one for us.
You shake
and
hands.
Ron. A lot of handshaking.
Finally get to touch her hand. Yep.
Well, first of all, with consent.
You gotta ask
the question.
Yeah, of course.
He's comfortable. Like, he seems and sounds and looks comfortable.
He should be rounding third.
He should be rounding
with his eyes on home.
Running third, or he running third? How does that work on third? I don't know. But you're right.
Yes, he should.
Or at least hauling ass around second, trying to get that triple. Which is kind of what I see. I'm seeing him kind of like glancing to see where the ball is, and then making a decision to try for third.
Look,
that's what I see us.
If Ron's not reaching into your pants this season, there's something wrong.
Isolate that, please.
Yes. You might want to be looking for a breakup, but he better be going for it, and you better be open to it, because I think
you better be open to it.
I think he can get it done.
That.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Let's see. I got this right here because I want to give you there's a couple of names that at defensive end. You asked the question about defensive end. I don't see it right off the top of my head because you have Chase Young might be starting the season on. He is starting.
Possible that he's not going to be available.
Yeah, it's going to be a disappointment if he's on the pup.
If
he starts week 1 on the pup list, that's going to be a disappointment.
But when did he hurt his? He tore both his ACL and MCL. When was that? That was later in the season, was it not?
It was. I think he played 9 games.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. Like,
did he play 9?
Plenty of guys
that sounds
take
like
a year to come back from that.
7 maybe.
It's just a little. It's a little concerning that he's done his own kind of recovery program, not through the team, right? So he's doing something separate from the way that Logan Thomas is trying to recover. And I think Logan Thomas is probably going to be ready before him, even though he injured it.
They're both
after, right?
They're both probably likely to miss a game or two.
Oh yeah, I understand that.
And I don't think it's a bad thing.
If he starts the season on the PUP list, that's going to be disappointing.
Well, you're certainly within your rights to be disappointed. I'll probably, if he's back, in the first quarter of the season, I'm pretty excited. And that really makes the training camp battle at this position so important because we have Sweat and Young,
right,
and there are our studs. We still got Chase for another couple years under contract. Who knows if we re-sign him? Blah blah blah. Montez Sweat's coming up sooner than that, and he's going to hit the market, and he's going to get paid.
He's going to get paid.
So the idea that these guys, James Smith-Williams, Casey Toohill, and F.A. Obata, are competing for essentially a starting job on week one. Well, F.A. Obata is the veteran. Toohill and James Smith-Williams are guys who have played for us, and they both got a little bit of credit at the end of last season by Rivera because
they played well.
I was going to say, did James Smith-Williams have more sacks than Chase Young?
And what Rivera said was that in many cases at the beginning of the season,
they played the system.
Chase Young was
playing outside of the system.
And James Smith-Williams and Toohill, they were just doing their job.
They were doing their job,
and
which is a nod to the coaching staff. And we talked about that last season. That right when we started losing all these guys that were like, oh, crap, this can't go well, we started playing better.
Yep.
They did play within the system. They certainly did. And I think it started to make sense. Hopefully Chase and Montez figure that out because it's going to make them better players and make the defense a better unit.
And they could, Toohill and Smith-Williams could edge out this, guy who's been around in F.A. Obata. And that would be a great thing for us if we're able to identify a younger guy, a hungrier, necessarily a defensive end, who we can count on. Because the beauty of that job, if you're James Smith-Williams or Casey Toohill, is that you're playing on an offensive line with Sweat, Allen, and Payne.
A defensive line.
Defensive line with Sweat, Allen, and Payne. That means you're going to get one-on-ones every
better
single
3 out of 4 than that.
No, you're never going to get double teamed as a defensive end. You know that going into every single snap. You're like, wow, I'm going to get a one-on-one matchup on this play every single time. Like, there's no better feeling than that. So it's a huge opportunity for one of those guys to get quality reps and basically earn the right to start when Chase Young can't go. I'll say week 4.
It's a massive opportunity for somebody like those two players. I mean, you're going to be lining up again, with 3 of the 4 best interior and outside defensive linemen in the league. Yeah. And you're never going to get double teamed. I mean, they're going to have an excellent opportunity to make plays.
I mean, you should know what that feels like, dude, right?
What does that mean?
Well, Benjamin is in the corner for a reason. He's ready to assert himself at the appropriate time.
Oh, God. Oh.
It takes one to know one, right?
Thanks for having me on, guys.
All right, so here's a question for the board and for the folks in the room. Getting away from camp battles, we'll be talking about camp battles for the next 6 weeks, so I don't want to always constantly do camp battles. Who's the best player? I would like to ask this question at this point in the summer. Who is the best player that will cut? And while you're thinking about it, just for a second, I want to remind everybody, subscribing to First Amendment Sports is totally free. Hit that button. Hit the bell for notifications when we are live. But we appreciate your subscription. It definitely helps the cause. And if we say something you like, hit the thumbs up. No big whoop. NBD. On the board,
I have a feeling it's going to be a wide receiver.
Kelvin Harmon.
Yeah, he's the first guy that I'm thinking of right now. Maybe for the lack of not thinking for somebody else, but I think it's a pretty deep unit. It's a pretty deep unit that's going to get somebody's going to get the shorthand. And right now, I think Harmon is on that bubble.
Yep. We got what's his name? Jaquez Ezard, Mark and Michael, or Mark and Michelle, and Keurig McGowan. We've had Michelle and Harmon on our practice squad, and I know we like Kelvin Harmon, but I think if you cut a guy like Kelvin Harmon, I think that's saying something about if you cut Kelvin Harmon. Here's the good news for Rhett. And all you out there who feel the same way as Rhett on this one issue, if we're cutting Kelvin Harmon, I guarantee you it's because Curtis Samuel is healthy throughout the preseason, has had a great preseason, and is ready to go. If he's not, guess who's probably making our team? Kelvin Harmon. So there's one way to shape the Curtis Samuel conversation.
Well, I mean, it's probably going to be Harmon or Dax Milne, and both of those are great players. Like, I remember being super excited about Kelvin Harmon 2 years ago. I thought this guy was going to be a solid number 3 wide receiver, and then he has the injury. He's out for a while, and now we don't know if he's going to make the team. But as you said, if he gets cut, either him or Dax Milne, which probably is going to be Kelvin Harmon, but if one of those two gets cut, that means that we are solid. Curtis Samuel's healthy.
Yeah.
De'Ami Brown,
and De'Ami Brown.
I believe 100% Dotson's going to be the number 2 wide receiver. He's going to be a star.
He's going to emerge.
He is going to be a star in this league. But it just shows Curtis Samuel's going to be healthy. De'Ami Brown's going to be, productive, and they're going to have to make a decision about that 5'6" wide receiver, 6'7" wide receiver. But that just means I'll be excited about that group.
Who's 5'6"?
Oh, Cam Sims is going to be, in the mix and stuff. I'm just saying, once you get past those
Cam
top
Sims
4,
is making the team.
Yeah, once you get past those top 4, and then you get to the 5, 6, 7, which is Sims, Milne, Harmon, one of those guys is probably going to get cut. But that just shows that, Samuel's going to be healthy and be able to be relied upon, which, he wasn't last year, obviously. And I
do like Greg Martin's answer.
I hope he's available.
Cohen's answer. Is Antonio Gandy Golden still on our team?
Jesus.
No.
I didn't think he was.
No.
Product from Liberty.
Robert Cohen, we got to look into that. But the Danny Johnson.
No chance he's on our team.
The Danny Johnson call by Greg Martin is interesting because Danny Johnson is fighting for a spot on the team. And I think he can play in the league.
He can play in the league.
Yeah.
He's about as exciting as his name.
He returns balls.
He does things, that you need a guy in his position to do.
You need a few of those players, though.
Yeah, he's maybe been a slight liability from time to time, but at the same time, he for the most part does his professional job. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I've never been a huge fan.
I'd probably cut Kevin Harmon before I cut Danny Johnson. If that's what I'm picking, that's probably where I'm at. But I could be dead wrong on that. I mean,
it's less about Danny Johnson and Kellen Harmon than it is about the talent that there is at wide receiver.
the
lack of talent there is in the defensive backfield.
I can believe that both of those guys will get signed by another team.
Yes.
We're gonna cut a guard. So the other interesting thing about training camp and we're definitely. I think it's also a lock that we cut an offensive lineman that gets picked up by another team, like real fast and in a hurry.
Real fast before week 1.
But that's not a shocker. That
No.
happens a lot.
Well, that's a good development for us because over the years
we've always had good development with the offensive line, though.
I can't say what our success has been in years past. Success, I guess, is not the greatest word, but of guys that have been cut from our team that have gotten picked up or not picked up from other teams.
Getting better.
I don't know that intimately enough to know that but linemen get. It's the skill players though where we're, the deepest.
I love watching, like when I watch all the games, on the ticket, and I watch them. I'll tape them, and I watch them in replays. And I always get a little bit psyched for, former Redskins football teamers. And so far, there's only former Redskins football teamers. There's no former Commanders yet. But every playoff game I watched last year, without fail, there was always at least one. I know that for a fact. And in the Super Bowl, we had a couple. Excuse me. I think it's gotten better. As we said before, this was the terminal. It was the end of the line. The train that was the last station. Everybody off with your.
I don't argue with that.
Daniel Snyder bonuses.
You can't argue with that.
And we need someone to play, and through bad luck, our offensive line has been decimated over the years. We've been the team with the stat on Fox 5 that says this is their 78th iteration of offensive line this season. You're like, that's the most in the history of the game, and you're like, oh god. So it's hard to really keep it going. Wes Schweitzer and Trey Turner. I guess if we want to throw one more, what's up, EO? If we want to throw one more camp battle out there before we call it quits, Trey Turner, I think 4 or 5 straight Pro Bowls ending in 2019. I want to say, and he spent some time with this team's coaches. And Wes Schweitzer, obviously, I think right now he's playing center. I think that's how he went out last year, right? So until Chase is like 100%, I think but Schweitzer's role will be potentially as a starting guard. But we also have Trey Turner, and I think both of those guys, again,
Schweitzer's a little bit more you can use him in a little bit more places.
More
diverse.
Yeah, flexible.
Yes.
Amphibious.
Yeah, no, but I'm
amphibious.
actually pretty comfortable with the depth of the line this year.
Yeah.
Probably more so than any year. We don't have, our top end guy like we did with Williams, but we got a solid offensive line.
Yeah, Norwell's good.
With Flowers,
with
Flowers, nailing things down.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
how much
good
are we
there.
paying on our offensive line? Because it's not what we used
Not
to
killing
be.
us.
Yeah.
Oh no, our left tackle is Leno. I want to say he's not getting that paid
No,
at all.
he's not.
We gave Norwell, I believe, a pretty decent sized contract. Chase Rouillet was re-upped. He's on the books for double-digit millions.
I meant
Yeah, but
Norwell.
that's
who
not
I meant.
bad. I mean,
And so we have our right tackle, Sam Cosme. He's still on his rookie
Rookie deal.
Wes Schweitzer, he's not breaking the bank.
I
Trey
think it's
Turner,
a good.
not
I
breaking
think
the
it's a
bank.
really good offensive line and a very affordable offensive line. So I think they have done really well there.
Draft pick that you think, and I'm stealing this question, by the way, from Greg Martin. Draft pick that you think will make the biggest impact.
Well, that's obvious.
It better damn well be Dotson.
He's gonna be a star.
It better be him.
He is going to be a star.
I think he's going to be a star as well. Sorry, I'm just.
But also Sam Howell.
But also Sam Howell.
Don't get me started on Sam Howell. But it's going to be Dotson, and it's not going to be Clay. He's going to be. I legitimately think he's going to be our number 2 wide receiver this year, and he's going to have
focus on number 2s
60 to 70 catches this year. 6+ touchdowns. He's going to be a star for us.
Okay. I got no problem with that. I have a different answer. I'm going with Brian Robinson because I think he's going to get a lot of carries, and I think that he saves because Antonio Gibson can't carry them all. He's not built to carry like 30 times a game. But if he's getting 20, but like the fact is there's other carries. Our offense wants to have another 20 carries. Like our offense ideally has like 30 to 35 carries, and not having to give them to McKissick. I think Robinson. I think he's like a 4-yard per carry guy.
So that's just it. Robinson's got to fill that role.
Yeah.
In order for Gibson to be maximized, right?
Yeah.
Take that load off. Take those hits away from Gibson. Don't let him get dinged up like he was last year. I thought the guy played like a warrior, to be honest with you. I mean, he cost us a couple games with some fumbling and things but his effort was there. If Robinson can lighten that load for him and allow him to be dynamic, with maybe 5 to 10 less touches, but more quality touches, right? I mean, when Antonio Gibson is also trying to get you your 3 yards when you really need that 3 yards, that's hurting the Antonio Gibson you need on first down, second down, third down, right? When it's third and medium, third and long, where he can be your biggest weapon. Take that off of his shoulders.
I mean, I really like our running back options right now, right? Like, I mean, you have Antonio Gibson, who he is actually a short yardage guy. I mean, he's somebody that you want to give the ball inside the 10-yard line. I think I saw a stat that he had 2/3 of his touchdowns were inside the 10-yard line. So he actually can carry the ball in short yardage situations. But we need somebody who can also run the ball on first and second down, because obviously J.D. McKissick's going to be a third down back primarily. But we need somebody who can actually work with him. And I think I think he's going to be a great fit.
He's going to get carries.
He's going to get carries.
I think he's going to get 7 to 10 carries, ideally right away, and I think he's going to make it the most of them. He's a athletic beast. He knock on wood, he's not a turnover, guy. And he makes guys miss, but he also hurts the other team when he runs into them. And he gets, he's like I said, I think he's a 4 yards per carry, kind of guy. Whenever you want to give him the ball, and I don't want to get caught up in him being a red zone guy or anything. I think he's gonna have to take the ball and be on the field for a possession every once in a while, or like other teams. I know Green Bay's offense used to famously do this. They had a guy who they in the Amon Green. Who's the Notre Dame kid they had? Ryan Grant days.
I think you
said
said
like
it well.
Between the 40s, you get between the 40s, Dorsey Levens. Between the 40s, between the 30s, you have guys who can just pound it out. And then you can kind of get creative inside the 40s.
Well, I think you said it well last year when we lost Barber, right? And you said at one point he was the guy that when you needed a yard, you brought him in, he gets a yard. Right? His job so far right now in the NFL is to get that yard when a team needs a yard. You don't want Gibson doing that, right? We didn't have that guy last year. Gibson had to do it a little bit more last year than he had, the year before. I think that's the role that Robinson's going to fill, is that big body that can get you that yard when you need it, and you don't have to put kick the tires anymore on a guy like Gibson, who shown he can do it, but he needs a thoroughbred, right? He can't be nicked up. He can't have an ankle. He can't have a high ankle sprain. He can't have this. He can't have that. He's got to be 100% to really be as effective as he can be.
Brian Robinson's
in what he does.
He's almost kind of in thoroughbred territory. A big, burly, SEC, Alabama, Crimson Tide running back. With the biggest thing is he has low mileage. He did not spend his college career getting banged up by SEC
an Alabama
defenses.
guy. Yeah,
he had to wait his turn to get his 1 year with the ball, and he did amazing things in his 1 year with the ball. I mean, he was behind Najee Harris and amongst others. Does Patterson? Can we sneak Patterson on our practice squad? Do you think other teams have enough guys where they're not? You think he's gone? You think he's going to sign somewhere else?
No, I don't think he's going to sign somewhere else.
You think his career's over?
No, I think he can be on our practice squad if
Well, so if we
bring him back,
if we have three running backs, I mean, we have kept 4 running backs before, but given that we are locked in on 3 quarterbacks, obviously, right. I mean, we're not cutting Taylor Heineke.
Or Sam Howell.
Or Sam Howell.
If you want to be successful.
So, and if you're gonna start, if Patterson becomes in the conversation of the extra wide receiver in Kelvin Harmon, or the extra cornerback in Danny Johnson, or the extra running back in Mr. Patterson, or the extra offensive lineman, veteran offensive lineman. So, I think he 4 running backs for sure. I don't know, Greg. Because I think you can keep running backs in your practice squad, and bring them onto your team in a flick of the wrist.
I don't think Patterson has wowed anybody enough to warrant them maybe signing him off waivers. I think it's a possibility he could pass and still stick around. I think it's a local story for the most part that people like.
He produced when he got the ball. I mean, he got he caught the ball.
Yeah, but running backs can produce.
Yeah.
It's not a big secret that it's a devalued position over the last 10 years because you can find a lot of people who
That's
could do a
why
lot
I
of
don't
good
think
things.
he makes our team.
That's what I'm. Yeah, I agree with you.
I think 4 going with 3 running backs would probably be seen as controversial amongst a lot of purists and a lot of people who've been paying attention for a long time, because one thing the one
How
position
many
that
touches they getting?
But as a group, the position that's going to get beat up the hardest amongst it is going to be the running back. I mean, you're going to go through running backs. So keeping 4 is perfectly sensible because you're going to need them before the end of the season. But if by the time you get to your 4th guy, if we're relying on Patterson to do something, then I'm I'd rather just rely on a practice squad guy.
Yeah, there are 4th guys out there that you can sign.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, I love our 3 running backs.
Yeah. I think position of strength.
I think it's a perfectly balanced position that we have right now. We have guys, who have specific roles, and I think are going to excel at those roles, and I think we're completely set with those 3 guys.
I think it's a position of huge strength for us. A skill spot, and of course, with Logan not being healthy, I can't really say what I really want to believe
how healthy is Logan? Yeah, I was gonna.
Well, I don't think he's. I think he's right there with Chase. I think and he's 31 years old. He's not. He's older than Chase. Like you talk about the difference in their recoveries. That's in NFL years. That's like 35 years. But I think that our skill position setup at wide receiver, running back, and tight end with him healthy is pretty much as good as you could really ask for in year 3 of a tear down renovation project. We're young, we're fast, and we're ridiculously skilled at those positions. Really, except really for tight end on the youth side, and we have a trigger man who I think is an upgrade from what we've had.
That's the big question
Yeah.
when you talk about a tear down and a rebuild. QB is number one.
I'm not saying he's our franchise guy.
That's the concern.
So all I'm saying is a trigger man. Like you put a crew together. We've all watched heist movies. And you got the lead, the lead guy, the De Niro, the Pacino.
We have everything set.
You got the wheelman. We got the wheelman. We got the guy, lock picker. The guy who can get into the safe. The guy who can beat security. The guy on the the talking in your ear. We have all the guys, I think. But who knows? Like maybe one of them's dating the receptionist and things go bad the night before and everything falls to pieces.
Just think though, what's going through Wentz's mind tonight. The night before you check in, and I only say that because one, everybody keeps saying this is his last chance, right, to prove himself.
It is his last chance.
And every single move on and off the field is going to be watched and scrutinized from this moment forward for this guy starting tomorrow, right?
It's one thing if you're the quarterback for the Packers or the Chiefs or the or the Rams that have been in the Super Bowl or the championship game the last couple of years. You're getting overly scrutinized and analyzed by a team that has struggled to win 3 or 4 or 5 games, a couple of times in the last 5 or 6 seasons. So,
and by a lot of people who want you to fail.
Well,
There's so many people who want to see this guy fail.
Yeah.
And they're ready. They're ready to pounce on it because it's going to get them clicks. It's going to sell their sites. Man, that's got to be a frustrating position to be in tonight. But at the same time, you got to be a professional. Go out there and do what we know he's capable of doing. He has the tools to do. So I think that's going to be a big storyline here. I mean, no, it's not. That's not a big shocker that Wentz is going to be a huge storyline going forward from this day forward.
Well, like how you want to run offense in the National Football League, today is you want to have a quarterback who can read a defense, make a quick decision, get the ball out of his hands as fast as possible. That 1.5 to 2.1 seconds. I mean, just like a ridiculously stupid period of time, and with power, and he can do those things. He last year was like 25 plus touchdowns and only 7 interceptions. He shit the bed against the
Jacksonville,
and the owner and him didn't see eye to eye on anything. I think what we're going to find out about Carson Wentz is, again, I caveat everything this way. I caveat my opinion about Curtis Samuel. I caveat my opinion about Carson Wentz, about a lot of guys, is they're healthy today. They're going into training camp healthy. So could they get hurt? Yes. Will it be like a terrible conversation when we have to talk about Curtis Samuel getting hurt in training camp? Yes. But right now, they're healthy. They're ready to go. So I got them penciled in as starters. A healthy Carson Wentz can make every single throw we need him to make in this offense. He can do it better than the guys we've asked the last few years. And we have better guys on the other end now. Having a Terry McLaurin in his part at this level of Terry's career and where he is at right now that's like a gift to Carson Wentz. We keep talking about giving Terry McLaurin a good quarterback. He needs a good quarterback, and that's true. But we're giving Carson Wentz one of the a legitimate wide receiver star. And we're giving him really a legitimate running back who again, besides from a couple fumbles, was playing lights out football for us. Antonio Gibson trimmed his body fat from 18 to 12. He's running lighter and faster. With Brian Robinson, will he become targeted more as a wide receiver? Who knows? We have that option though now with Carson Wentz. Jonathan Taylor was the running back in Indianapolis last year, far and away, one of the top 2, if not the best running back in the league last year. I want to say he caught 50 to 60 balls, and I think who was their second string? Was it Hines or Marlon? Was Marlon Mack?
I thought it was Hines.
Hines.
Yeah.
I want to say that Carson Wentz had well over 100 targets to running backs, last year, which to me is such a huge deal because you're going to line up Antonio Gibson obviously in the backfield and McKissick. Both of those are gifted pass catchers. But if Curtis Samuel can be healthy and line up from the backfield, Carson Wentz can get him the ball in a way that Heineke couldn't, and Alex Smith wasn't getting it done.
But we also have to talk about, he's going to be given a top 12 offensive line. He's going to get protection. He's going to be set up for success. There's no question. He's going to have pass catchers. He's going to have a proven offensive line. And he's going to have running backs who can, do what they need to do. He has every tool, both physically and also provided, with the roster.
That's why it's his last chance.
This
is why it's his last chance to prove in the NFL that he's here to stay. That we all know he has the tools to do it. Has he been broken? Is he done broke?
I don't know.
Does he have leadership problems? Is he a weirdo that nobody can get along with?
I just can't stop thinking about.
Is he a weirdo nobody can get along with when the shit starts hitting the fan? These are the things that are going to be, put to the test for Carson Wentz this year.
I just don't know when we've had a more just built with the absolute tools to be a successful quarterback in our franchise history. He has everything, physically to be successful.
I would go back to Brad Johnson in '99 as one. He had.
So we're talking 25 years we haven't had somebody with these physical tools. Well, and now he's been given.
Brad Johnson was a crazy good athlete.
He has everything.
But he also had that year he had Westbrook and Albert Connell, which are names that aren't going to blow up anyone's skirts. I say that he had Steven Davis at running back, and that was a huge gift. And he had Larry Centers, which to me is that's the big one. Like if you give a quarterback Larry Centers, then you've given him a lot. And I think McKissick is very Larry Centers-esque. But I think Curtis Samuels can also be Larry Centers-esque. I think if Larry Centers played in the league now, I think he'd be a Curtis Samuels, J.D. McKissick type. I don't know that. He's a gifted wide receiver. He was misappropriated, except not really, right? Because he only caught 100 balls, a year when he was given the opportunity to. I rewatched the opener. Kevin and I were talking about it last week, and we don't have to relive it. The opening game from '99 against the Cowboys, which we lost in overtime. Rocket Ismail with the walk-off bomb. But that was Larry Centers' first game, and I forget who was calling the game. It was probably it wasn't Aikman at the time because Aikman was in the game, but it was somebody. It was a big it was their the A team, right? And they were like, how the hell did who in their right mind lets Larry Centers hit free agency, hit the market? Like when I saw, in fact, I think the line was from this guy. When I saw that Larry Centers was a free agent, I knew then and there that the Arizona Cardinals weren't for real. It was like something like that. It's like, the Cardinals aren't for real. They're not a for real organization.
Cardinals.
The Phoenix Cardinals. I know right now that they are not a for real organization because they let Larry Centers go. And I was like, this is awesome. Maybe we're going to win this game. But we didn't. Is Troy Aikman going to make this team? I think right now
he does.
I think right now he does.
Yeah, because
who cares?
To answer a question from the board.
Who cares?
The board asked.
I get that, but who cares?
He's making the
team.
He's
still a special teams, he's a special teams player. And I think he's getting much better at his craft. And right now with how, again, there's a lack of talent at that level. At that unit. He makes it right now.
I think
unless they can bring somebody else in that's better.
No, and would it feel right if we didn't have a guy like Troy Aikman on our team in week one, where he just splits the line of people that are like, how is this guy on an NFL roster? And the rest are like, dude, are you kidding me? How do you?
He's got ridiculous measurables.
His speed is off the charts,
yeah.
and as a gunner, he has huge potential. By the way, speaking of huge potential and someone who was a good gunner on special teams last year, plays wide receiver, who knows Sam Hell very well, De'Ami Brown. I don't know if
No comment.
I think he was on point last year as a gunner in the back half of the season. But let's talk about
Ken
Sam Howell.
and I had to have a little talking to with Rhett about De'Ami Brown.
I just think a guy who has 12 catches is not an impact player for a 3rd-round draft pick.
Okay.
I could be crazy, but
Does the board like or dislike De'Ami Brown? Just simple check-ins.
Does the board okay with a 3rd-round investment that we made in De'Ami Brown at this point?
Let's just get a census from our guys.
We'll let the board marinate on that and bring it in, and then I'll ask you guys this following question. 2-round draft, starting with T, coming this way, and then snaking back. Best restaurant/chain burger. All right, you get first pick. And I don't think we need to. You don't think you need to overdo it. I think you know what it is. First one out of the gate overall, number 1 in the green room, waiting to hear their name called. Gonna get hugged by Roger Goodell and a big
He called
sweater.
me first. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna go with 5 guys.
why would you do that?
Because 5 guys, I had to change it up. You gave the
agree.
topic, so I'm gonna give it to Tim. So that means you get to go. 5 guys is off the board.
Okay, you know what I'm going to go with? So we can do non-local
Yeah,
DC,
I went restaurant. You got to know the restaurant. It can't be like Patty's
Sure.
Burger Shack from like.
I will 100% with the 2nd round or 2nd overall pick in the chain burger draft. I will go the Whataburger.
There you go.
Totally good. Totally acceptable.
Unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
Unbelievable. I got a lot of stories about the Whataburger.
All right.
Those are off-air stories, though.
Yeah, we have a stenographer. We'll take down all the
Whataburger
your
employees.
Whataburger
Yeah,
stories.
everybody's just fantastic over there.
I do like 5 guys, but I don't love 5 guys. Would not have been my number 1 overall. It wouldn't have been.
So is your number one still available?
My number 1 is still available because
Don't say In-N-Out.
And that
Don't
would
say
be-
In-N-Out.
No, I wouldn't say In-N-Out or Whataburger. I've eaten in both. I appreciate and like them both.
I've eaten at Whataburger. I have not had an In-N-Out.
In-N-Out. I had In-N-Out in Vegas, and it was delicious.
Yeah.
I
Everything
think
in Vegas is
at that moment in my life when I ate that.
You're
burger,
getting too many ideas. You gotta give us our pick.
just get
Well, you guys are the ones who want to talk about In-N-Out Burger and Whataburger.
Give us your number 1 and number 1.
You go 3 and 4.
Yeah, I go 3
You
and
going
4.
back to back?
Yeah, so I'm in the war room right now, and we are arguing, and it is a bad scene. It was a bad idea to put a camera in this war room. A bad idea. Oh man! All right, so I think as always now I get to decide who I'm going to give the higher contract. It's like a real like LeVar Arrington,
We're all
Yeah, the
sitting on
same-
the edge of our seats. Pick, damn it.
Chris
I can't
Samuel
wait.
situation. Whew. I'm going to go with I'll go Smash Burger in the bottom of the first round. Great taste. I like the crisp.
You go with the
Chris Burger?
impossible, don't you?
Dude, I that's the closest I've come to using a bad word all night long, and I refrained. I've taken 1 bite of Impossible meat before, just because
I've never had Impossible meat.
I wanted to took a bite of someone's burger, but I was like, is it a burger? I'm like, it's not really a burger. What is it?
Patty.
Yeah, it was a patty.
It's patty.
I had an Impossible patty, a bite of an Impossible patty. It wasn't terrible, but I would never want to order it or have another bite for the rest of my life.
Wait until you have to explain to your grandchildren. Yes, we used to eat actual animal meat. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, and by the way, the one that goes at the top of the second, it goes by multiple names, but we'll call it the Houston's Burger, or it's the Woodmont Grill now. But the burger at Houston's, and Houston's is a chain, but they kind of broken up into the different names of Copper Canyon and Woodmont Grill.
Yeah, I don't. But are they even? I mean, I know Woodmont Grill's still around,
Yeah,
but
it's the same exact menu.
Yeah,
It's
I
the same
know.
exact everything.
Okay.
Same owner.
okay.
They just the lawyers came in and said you can't call it Houston's anymore. The one in Georgetown turned into something else also.
Okay, all right.
But their burger is
That's a gray area, but we'll let it slide.
big old sesame seed bun,
Okay, all right.
greasy, a lot of cheese. I think I'm really concerned that I didn't go with one of these, but I'm going to go. It comes back to you.
Well, I feel like the Houston's was like a more gourmet burger. Like, I mean, it's just
Still a chain restaurant.
yeah, but it's just on a different level than what we were discussing earlier.
So if I put a Houston's burger next to a Whataburger, you'd still take the Whataburger?
Well, it depends how much money I have in my pocket at the
No,
time.
no money. No, money's no object.
Oh, well,
Money's
of course,
for a
money
man like
for
you.
you. Yeah, no money's
Money is
no
no
object.
object. Hey,
Of course not.
there's a bear in the basement. You know. What do you got?
Okay. Well,
Milo's. Robert Cohen is saying.
I'm gonna stick with my budget burger then, and now you got things running through my head. Like, why am I not spending more money on the food that I want?
Well, this is about flavor, not.
All right, fine. I'm just gonna go Shake Shack. I'm sorry, T. I'm probably gonna steal your thunder
that's
there.
fine. No,
It's
that's
fine,
good.
but
I'm totally
Shake Shack
comfortable with
because
that.
I'm more of a budget guy. I'm not rich like Ken, so I'm gonna go with Shake Shack.
This guy.
Now we're just doing
Very rich.
2 rounds.
Just 2 rounds. You get the last pick, and then we're calling it quits. We're not
All
going to.
right. Well, I'm going to throw out some honorable mentions. Just.
Well, no. Make your pick, and then we'll do honorable.
Be here for an hour with the honorable mentions.
He just wants to be able to throw up multiple.
I was struggling. Well, no,
See
because
what
I was
the-
still deciding, but I think I'm going to land on it. It probably should have been my number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
I'm going to go cheeseburger.
Oh, that's a
Wow.
great burger. It's a great burger.
Wow.
I'm a big fan of the patty melt, actually.
Yeah,
personally,
of course.
with the rye bread
Yeah,
and the grilled onions and mushrooms on top.
Completely
But,
off
I
my
mean,
radar.
yeah.
It
That's a
is so
great pick.
delicious. It
That's
is
a
so
great-
good.
I'm glad he didn't go with the Morton's happy hour burger. You would have leveled me.
No. Actually, the Ruth Chris happy hour burger.
Both of those
That's-
places, they're
But that's
again,
that's more your territory.
in happy hour. I think
They
it's
can't be
$11.
considered in a burger draft.
It's a
though.
chain,
Nah,
Morton's
but they're
is a chain.
steakhouses.
and they're happy hour. Those happy hour burgers, like
They're
happy hour deals.
steakhouses. They're not burger places.
You can get a burger for like $15, which is like if you go to Five Guys, our first overall pick.
So rich.
Tell me, when you get a friggin' double bacon cheeseburger at Five Guys, how much do you think that costs?
$7.50.
No,
Not
chance.
enough.
No way.
How good it
It's
is.
easily $12. Easily $12.
Is it that much?
Might go find out
dude,
tonight.
it's way too much. Dude, I can't take my family to Five Guys, but I do anyway. I haven't tried. But no,
Max
double
out my
patty-
credit card.
A double patty burger with, 13. Greg's saying it's $13. It's definitely up there. It's with tax.
Greg Martin is just offended by the Five Guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's convenient, and it is tasty.
It is convenient and it is tasty.
And I like to get 2 little burgers.
Very decent fries.
Well, the fries they just
Very decent
throw
fries.
as many as possible that fit in that bag.
And our Five Guys does milkshakes. They don't all do milkshakes.
And they're good.
And they're really good.
They are good.
So
They are good.
I'm gonna give them. They get a lot of. They get a long leash.
Cheeseburger could have been a number one overall.
I forgot about
Their
cheeseburger.
milkshakes are
that's
unbelievable.
solid.
And also, if you're not looking for a cheeseburger, they have like 5 other things that are delicious.
Yes.
The chicken finger sandwich, excellent.
Well, we need a Whataburger here. That's my last comment on the.
But want to
burger
give some
talk.
honorable mentions.
Need the Whataburger.
Loved Hamburger Hamlet. Don't think it was a chain.
I don't know if it was.
It
or
had
not. It
damn
felt
good
like a chain.
hamburgers.
Yeah.
Damn good hamburgers. Fuddruckers.
Fuddruckers used to be
R.I.P.,
good.
Yeah.
They got totally.
I don't even know where they are anymore.
I mean, yeah, the one in
R.I.P.
Silver Spring's gone.
One in Rockville's
The
gone.
one in Rockville's gone.
Dude, what happened was
But when that first came out,
when we were kids.
Fuddruckers was
But the
Legit
one for
as
me,
shit.
the closest to me one was Annapolis Mall. Annapolis, pretty close to downtown. But you went there. They had the butcher place in the front where they they literally cut the sides of beef. They had the bakery where they made all the bread and the cookies and the desserts. And they had, the whole big condiment section. And you would order your food, and everything was made and fresh, and it was awesome.
Mother Fuddrucker.
And now, if you go to Fuddruckers now, or the one I went to in Silver Spring, it was in like a little strip mall.
Yeah, I've been there many times.
No fresh beef, no fresh made anything. It was all microwaved and like the whole.
And you go to
experience of Fuddruckers was-
the topping section. I mean, it's just
you could eat for days just there.
It's good. It was good.
They ruined
Roy
it.
Rogers too.
Yeah, I was waiting to see if like a Wendy's or Roy Rogers, Hardee's, or McDonald's would get picked up, or Burger King, but
Well, Hardee's
Delicious,
Pay
but
for that
quality,
Angus over
but
at Hardee's.
quality-wise, they
I think we made
lacked.
the right call.
The only one that really has good quality meat, at least in my opinion, I don't know this scientifically. I'm not a doctor, but the Roy's burgers do seem to be a little bit more
Fried egg on your burger?
burgerlicious.
Yes or no?
Love it.
Fried egg on your burger?
Never.
Fried egg, yes.
Never?
Never.
Oh,
Ever?
Why would you do that?
Because it's delicious.
It's delicious.
Okay, well, my taste buds say it's not delicious.
It's not a dominant flavor. Like, egg's not a dominant flavor.
I
It just
mean,
goes in with the grease and the beef.
Oh, you guys are weird.
It all goes together, if you think about it.
Hey, man, that's why we're all human. We all have different tastes.
I
and
have
that's
way
all
more
that's fine.
respect for your anti-egg on your burger
What, that my
perspective
Sam
than
Howell?
your Diami. No, I love
Diami
and I love
Brown
your-
hate.
than
I
your
think I
Diami
might
Brown
actually-
If
hate.
I
Diami
might
Brown
actually
has
take
more than
more
22
issue with the
catches this
burger.
year, I'll buy you a nice bottle of scotch.
Wait, 20 catches?
22 catches.
All right, I'll take it.
I'll do 22 and a half. I'll
It's
buy you a
Irish,
nice bottle of
Irish, not Scotch. Don't say Scotch. Scotch is for-
whatever you want, because it's not happening.
Okay, now you're talking. I love one-sided bets where I make whiskey if something happens. It's
Well,
amazing.
he's going to have about 13 catches for
This has
172
Taysom Hill
yards.
versus Jameis Winston written all over it.
Yeah, well,
He's like, no!
is
not
Taysom,
good."
where's Taysom? Is he still with the Saints?
It's a starting tight end for the New Orleans Saints.
Wow. Well, you won that bet, I guess, by default.
Like, by the skin of my teeth. Like, his very last breaths as quarterback.
Yeah, then I had to take you out for golf.
Won
Well,
me,
yeah,
won
it's fine.
me money.
It's fine. I'm not bitter about it at all.
Thank you, Taysom. Appreciate it. You really made
You're
me
really
right.
probably the 57th best quarterback in the league.
Oh,
But
you're
you started
so,
enough games for Ken.
You're so salty. I love it. It's so great. I mean, obviously, I knew.
He's a horrible quarterback.
I mean, obviously, I knew he was good. He was such a good quarterback that they were going to have to start him. So amazing. 90 million down the drain. I don't know what Greg's talking
Where's
about.
Jameis Winston, by the way? Is he?
He's a starting quarterback for New Orleans.
So So they're rolling out the same two and just.
Yeah, but no. Sean Payton's gone. They are going with they're going with Taysom Hill at tight end. They want him to focus, and they want Jameis Winston to play.
That's a 5-win team.
I'll take the over on that for
We have
5
bottle
guys.
of whiskey.
It's a lot of whiskey.
I'll take. So wait, 5 wins over under. I'll do a round of golf on that one.
5.5 wins.
I get
on the
well,
Saints.
five's the line. We'll push it 5. No. I said to get over 5, so it doesn't matter. We're gonna get over 5.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So 5.5's the line.
5 pushes.
That team's gonna be horrible.
Everyone heard me say that. 5 pushes.
That whole division is gonna be horrible, except for
I think
for Tampa.
that kid Harris, the monster athlete freak return man that they've had in New Orleans for the last couple seasons, is going to go Tyreek Hill style for them this year at wide receiver. Now, you heard it here.
What's his
Third,
name?
maybe fourth.
What's his name?
I wanted to say it was Deontay Harris.
Deontay Harris. All right.
I think he's going to ball out in a major way. I think he's literally going to destroy people. I believe in him. And Jameis Winston can get him the ball. And they still have Alvin Kamara. They still have can't guard Mike.
I'm glad you're so comfortable with the New Orleans
Can't
Saints
guard Mike. He's
Yeah.
not
football
playing.
staff. All right, roster.
Oh, he's playing, isn't he?
What?
Is he done?
I wouldn't rely on him.
Dude, I do love my team the most.
Stop talking about the Saints.
But-
I'm
but-
sorry, I didn't mean to hit you.
In the head, man.
Dude, that was Roger Clemens, like Roger Clemens throwing the
You
bat
really
at
like
Piazza.
Michael
I got you
Thomas
both.
that much?
I did both. I did get you both. So.
That's pretty impressive,
I knocked
actually.
2 birds out with one
The
stone.
Saints do suck. I just think they're going to win more than 5 games. I'm just telling the board. That's
Okay,
a push
don't
bet.
say Saints again.
Everyone's saying it's a
done.
push bet. Saints.
Saints.
Saints. It's training camp eve. And we're gonna wake up tomorrow. We're gonna see our guys on the field running around.
I just need to see Curtis Samuel running around. I
right.
can't. If we just in the next 7 days have
Shut
a
him-
report,
shut him down?
have a
Shut him
report of
down.
him either being shut down or working off on the side by himself or whatever.
What about
I'm gonna-
overabundance of caution?
I'm gonna blow.
You're gonna hear
gasp.
overabundance of out of an abundance of caution.
I'm-
We've decided to limit his participation
I'm
in
gonna
drills.
punt my computer into the.
I don't care
into
what
the
he
ocean.
does in August. I just want him to be on September 11th. I want him to be on the field for first down and 10. That's all I care about.
Me too. Except for the fact that if he's working off on the sideline on his own.
Oh, you can. First of all,
gonna-
just set yourself up for that. You should just you're gonna love it then because that's exactly what it's gonna be. He's gonna be wearing a red jersey with like a triple padded helmet and a halo bubble around him, and no one's allowed to be going anywhere near
Making
him.
me mad right now.
That's what's gonna happen. That's exactly how it's gonna
unnecessary anger right now.
go. Curtis Samuel, and everyone's gonna call him Sweetie, and they're gonna be like, "You're great, honey. We think you're awesome," and everyone's gonna be pumping him up. It's gonna be great.
And they just collect
Curtis
his
Samuel.
millions, just doing nothing.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
Must be nice.
Then I get to make the wide receiver millions point. We're paying him $10 million a year, correct? 3 years, 30, wasn't it something like that? Did he play for us last year? No, he played 5 games, got almost no targets, so lost season. But the wide receiver market was 100 billion% reset this year in a way that no one. I don't know that anyone necessarily saw coming. Your wide receivers are now. I like that, Curtis Richardson.
That's the Malcolm Kelly bike.
He's gonna be on the Malcolm Kelly bike all summer.
Oh, I love that.
It's now you roll out of bed, you make $20 million as a wide receiver on the market right now. So, I agree that it's an if. I'm not trying to sit here and tell you Curtis Samuel is going to be free of injuries for the rest of his career. If he plays well this year, and we get to keep him this year and next year at $10 million per, that is a freaking huge win against the salary cap.
It's not happening.
Well, I'm willing to grant you it's an if, but you have no way of knowing that that's not happening.
Why don't you bet, Ken, that it won't happen?
The third
Because that's
Scotch
almost
bottle
guaranteed. That's almost guaranteed it will happen.
What else could you pay? What else could I get? You know what? I need a new truck at some point in time here soon. For hauling to haul my burgers from Morton's, my happy hour Morton's mobile. How about this? Happy hour at Morton's.
But what is the Curtis Samuel
that he's
over under what touches?
This is a long play bet, just like our Taysom Hill, Jameis Winston. The bet is he on our team next year? So you got to wait for it. It's gonna be a rocky road. It's gonna be a roller coaster of a ride. And when he is on R90 and he reports at training camp next year, you get the bill at Morton's happy hour.
Who knows?
Of course, who knows?
No, I need him. I said
you said it can't happen. It's not happening.
I said he's going to be unproductive because I have no faith whatsoever that he's going to be an impact player for this team.
If he's not good for us this year, he's gone. There's no way. If we have another
loss
season with him.
It depends on a billion different things.
No, we can let him go. We have an out. If he doesn't do anything this year, he's gone. He was not going to be gone after last year because we owe him money. It's a new contract. But if he doesn't produce this year, if he's not a guy, he's gone.
Well, I don't think whether he's on the team next year is indicative of what his performance is.
How about if he finishes the season on the roster? I don't understand what you're talking about.
No, I'm just saying if he's
either on our team or he's not.
There could be things with our the rest of our wide receiver group or something that happen that we go, okay, well, he's our best option next year, even if he's not what we need him to be.
All I'm saying
is this year.
How many catches is he going to get this year?
Catches?
How many catches is Curtis Samuel going to have this year? Over under? 25? 35? 30?
Hold on. If you're going to set the over-under on 30 catches for a $10 million a year wide receiver, that's embarrassing.
I'm not just giving you... You're going to have to negotiate here. This is a two-way street. I'm not just giving you 80. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to meet me somewhere. I'm going to say 15, and then I know you're going to have to give me, this isn't my first... How do you think I got you on Taysom Hill? What's the number? 40?
If he has over 40...
catches.
5.5 catches... he will deserve the contract that he's being paid.
Okay. Morton's happy hour, over under 40.
Sure.
Done.
Lock it in.
Lock it in.
So here's what
that's all I care about.
This is
Lock
an
that
emotional
down,
hedge.
board.
If he has over 40 catches,
to me, it's a happy hour.
It's a positive.
Hedge. It's a happy hour hedge to me. I think. What tonight after tonight you owe me a Morton's happy hour and. What's the other thing you owe me?
2 bottles of scotch.
And a bottle of whiskey. Irish. Don't keep saying scotch.
I don't know. I don't drink brown liquor, so.
You will someday when you grow up.
Yeah, I want to get some hair on my chest.
One day when you grow up, you'll and these guys are going to treat you. You're part of a crew that knows this stuff better as well as anyone.
What do you have against brown liquor?
It's brown.
My
body says no, thank you.
Need to be more
listen,
you need to be more open to your.
Do you know how Curtis Samuel? I
can't
stand every report about the working off on his own. It's
Block
an
it
emotional
out.
hedge. If he has 72 catches next year and 7 touchdowns
This year.
I'll be
This year.
This year, I'll be as happy as as anybody.
It's gonna be a great happy hour. If that's
It'll be,
the case. That'll be the
I
happiest
would
hour.
love to. We'll do shots. We'll do everything.
But we're doing shots.
I just can't.
We're doing shots no matter what.
Sure. I just
At 41 catches,
at this point,
it is going to be like
I have no faith whatsoever that
41
Samuel is gonna do anything.
when he catches his 41st pass, it is going to be.
If
so
he catches
on.
his 41st pass in the 17th game of the
There's
season,
gonna be glitter bombs in the basement
for -4 yards. Yeah,
I mean, we're gonna call Morton's live on the air to make the reservation.
you better just say.
You
"Listen,
think get the old 96er?
I don't
like,
feel good about winning this
great
bet.
outdoor side. We want the old 96er. I want it, the everything you got.
It is 44 catches for 412 yards, 0
man.
touchdowns. Yeah, you feel good about winning that bet.
I might not have a lot of time to work on my 41 plans, my 41st catch plans, because he might get that early in the season, like week
Listen,
6.
I hope he has it in game 3.
I need more time. I need more time to get my whole celebration.
I
plan.
have no idea why you have faith in Curtis Samuel to be productive.
41 catches. It's going to be a joyous occasion in the basement.
You gotta put it in the bet book.
Now. Dude, it's in the bet book. Everyone knows Benjamin. You think Benjamin's not going to hold you to that? You ever see The Ring when she just kind of moves like this? Like that's how Benjamin attacks you in the basement. He's just like here, and he's right there. It's pretty messed up.
Putting it down right now.
All right, it's 2. It's Irish whiskey and it's a Morton's happy hour. Just buy the whiskey and we'll go to happy hour because I'm winning both of those bets. Taysom Hill makes the Pro Bowl, obviously. Curtis Richardson, by the way, EO is pretty solid. It's pretty amazing. I like it.
Rick is not gonna like that.
No,
either.
he's not. He's not.
Beautiful.
All right, everybody. It's get some sleep tonight. Training camp starts.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
big day tomorrow.
What's the last
You have to
thing?
all be, ready to go.
What's the last thing you trained for, T?
The last thing I trained
Any
for,
kind of training at all.
physically,
No.
just any kind of training.
Any kind of training. Management training.
Probably the toughest thing I've ever done was training for the bar exam.
The bar. You trained for the bar.
Yep.
That counts.
That was tough. That was tough.
Grit.
And I made it. And I passed. It was amazing.
I trained
know it was gonna happen.
I trained for the bar exam as well.
But the Texas
But-
bar, right?
Texas.
Texas bar. That's a different bar.
This is gonna be so embarrassing. Training for a 5K
Oh,
You trained for
Show
a
off.
5K?
asshole.
and getting sick on my first day trying to run about a mile.
How long?
Same.
How many miles are 5Ks?
2.5.
2.5 to 3.
You need to train for that?
Hey, not everybody is born with the physical gifts that you are.
I don't. I think I could make it across the finish line. It wouldn't be very impressive, but I don't know that I would. I mean, you just got to.
Yeah, but it's embarrassing just to start like running off and run for 50 yards and then be like, all right, I'm gonna walk the rest of the way.
I mean, I've
That's
walked
embarrassing.
home from bars that were farther than 2.5 miles away.
That seems like a you problem.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more like a 3:30 in the morning problem.
Before
Before Uber's existed, I made the walk up Rockville Pike from Bethesda to Grosvenor
Just
Metro.
putting your thumb out and seeing if anybody wants to
I feel like that would
put
be
you in the bed of their pickup
that
truck.
would be good training. I feel like the Tuesday night training, like I tell you what I train for is dealing with a night when it's just Kevin and I. So last week with just Kevin and I, those nights go, into the wee hours. It's like all of a sudden you look at your watch and you're like, oh my gosh.
Did you hear about me going to see you? I saw you at Knights of Columbus. This was 4 weeks ago.
Okay.
On your anniversary.
Yeah, on my anniversary.
Yes.
Happy anniversary.
You were alone at that point.
At that
You were
point,
no
I
longer-
was.
You were no longer having your anniversary at that point.
No. The anniversary was.
Did you hear what
celebration
happened?
Was over. To me?
Rico was working,
Yeah, Rico was working.
bartending at the Knights of
Yes,
Columbus.
I was behind the bar with
We were
him.
having a good time.
Yeah, everyone had a good time.
One of my brothers was there. We were, people were having
Brett was in
cigars,
the house.
cigars on the back deck,
Yeah.
So we all kind of went out to the back deck for a little while. Then we had to come back in because, it couldn't be too loud. And at one point I looked at Kevin and said, do you need to, do some work, clean up, or should I get out of your way? He's like, no, you're fine. Goes to the back door, opens it up, and he goes, holy crap, the sun's up. We pulled the all-nighter.
You pulled the all-nighter.
We pulled the all-nighter. It was fun.
And that's what happens. And I think that's what we've been ultimately training for. Think
The
about
common
7 years
denominator
of,
in this is Kevin.
well,
That's
it's
basically
also,
what I was going with.
It's also you and a little bit me. A lot of Benjamin and some Rhett.
But Kevin's in every
7
single
years
one.
of 7 years of Tuesday night training.
Yeah.
That's pretty solid. Let's see. We got.
I'd say I trained for those nights my whole life.
Yeah.
And then
it's
Kevin
needed,
Kevin walked back 7 miles home.
probably.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Well,
I went straight to get breakfast for the whole family. Brought it home. Great.
That's what did you?
That's a move.
That's a hero move.
that's
It
a
was
move.
That's a slow clap.
Yeah.
And
It was-
90s
Where have you
movie.
I
been?
hope they
Here's-
appreciated
here's,
that.
Here's breakfast.
I woke up early, guys, to go get this for you. All right, guys. He's Tim Strachan.
Appreciate everybody. Good to see you.
He's Rhett Donnelly.
Brig Owens.
Brig
Celebration
Owens.
of life
Yeah.
today. Great man, great football
good
player.
remembrance.
But, yeah, more importantly, great man.
I'm Ken Marangolo. This was, thank God, it's Tuesday. We'll be back next Tuesday night. We're still live.
We got football coming around the corner, boys.
I
Getting ready to
can't
start
wait.
up.
Training
Also,
camp
other
already.
burgers. I mean, Black's Market Burger. It's
Well,
fantastic.
yeah, there's so many good burgers.
Oh, so good.
So many good burgers.
What else is there? What else?
I might
Is